everyone, this is FantasyEsque and welcome back to The Sims 4 Vampire Amazon Royal Saga with the Salazar Coven. The story escalates. So, what happened in the mini-movie? It was entirely based at the prison fort. We saw a few clips of Princess Kyra in her cell in the tower. She was kind of just sitting on her bed and looking around at, these stone walls. And then there was a big teddy bear there. So, she was trying to figure out, what to do with it. Or if it's something that maybe can help her get out. She has no clue what's going on at this point, right? She doesn't even know she's in danger. All she knows is that this place looks unfamiliar. She's never seen anything like it. And normally, because, she's the princess, she's the heiress, there's always someone talking to her and looking after her and giving her attention, affection. She's always surrounded by people, right? Who are making sure that she is taken care of the best possible. But ever since she's come here, she's been left completely on her own. So it's kind of disorienting, just trying to figure out what's going on. And then we move to a scene with Xiomara, Jamie, and Lord Ari. I swear, I can't remember the children's names sometimes. And Xiomara obviously is getting impatient, and she's asking Jamie, where are your soldiers, Commander? You promised me you'd take care of me, or you'd protect me. And Jamie said, and I will, don't worry, they'll be here, they'll come. And Xiomara said, I've pinned all my hopes on you, so let's pray that that's the case. And then they came outside, and they were kind of walking the ramparts, and she was saying that, we've been waiting for hours, but nobody's come. And then she was getting really frustrated that if this doesn't go to plan, if they fail, she will have nothing. She'll have nothing left to her. She'll have nothing to protect her, nothing to give her leverage, nothing at all. And I mean, the princess, that's what she is. She's leverage. But obviously, in order to bargain, negotiate anything with a sense of authority, they need soldiers, right? They need the other side to take them seriously, which right now, not exactly the case. And then Jamie finally saw someone come up to the fort, so then he went down to escort that person up, and it was Lord Frederick, right? Frederick is the current queen's oldest uncle. So, the firstborn uncle. So he came up, and Jamie is Frederick's great uncle. So yes, there's a bit of a relation going on here. And Frederick, he came in and he said, what's going on, great uncle? And Jamie cut to the chase. He asked Frederick, where are the soldiers? And Xiomara, being her erratic self, I feel like in a little bit of a crazed tone, she was like, yes, where are the soldiers? I can't see them. And then Frederick said, they're not coming. No one is. And the last line, which I personally felt was so badass of him, he said, Lady Guinevere sends her regards. And I just imagine him saying that, tipping his hat and saying that. So badass. And I have to say, I flippin' love, where the story's gone right now, I love Guinevere. I don't know how you guys feel. You know what? I'm actually very curious to see from the beginning of last month what you guys think of Guinevere now. Because I think the very first episode that came out last month, in March, was the episode where we find out that Guinevere is the Shadow Queen. And looking at the comments of that, a lot of you guys, it was a twist for everyone. I feel like that episode changed a lot of people's perceptions on Guinevere and Eden. Because certain truths came to light that we didn't know about beforehand. So I'm really curious, at this point, what does everyone think? What does everyone think about dear Guinevere? And Xiomara as well. Because, in that episode, the one that I was just talking about, everyone is kind of like, they like Xiomara, I feel like, more than Guinevere, and everyone's like, oh, the queen's gonna get married, there's gonna be a royal wedding in the works, Xiomara and Catherine, like, stuff is going on, which is slightly confusing. Yes, that was the Love Pentagon episode, but, like, the episode before that even, everyone was like, oh, Catherine and Xiomara, you know, true love, the guys so sweet together. But, like, at this point, what does everyone think of Xiomara and Guinevere? It's almost as though they've swapped, I feel, but I love it. Anyways, let's pick up with these guys and see how this whole thing is dealt with. So basically, none of the soldiers, guys, answer the summons. None of them. Which Jamie obviously is very surprised by, and Xiomara is not in the least happy with, of course. But the thing is, a lot of the soldiers, right, they know of Guinevere. They're very clear about their loyalty to her, and also, like, she's got this fearsome reputation and a terrifying reputation, whereas Jamie's a bit more friendly. But not only that, despite her terrifying reputation, Guinevere is actually friends with quite a few soldiers. So everyone's, like, the chatter, the talk that happens between the men when she's not there is good stuff. It's like respectful chatter. It's basically reinforcing the loyalty that they have towards each other and then to her, right? Whereas with Jamie, even though he seems really friendly and he's the commander, he's never really put any time into forging relationships with the soldiers that he's supposed to be commanding. So he doesn't know a whole bunch of them that well. So unfortunately, they, you know, have taken Guinevere's side over Jamie's. So, you know, when he sent out those summons, rather than coming straight to him with that question, a lot of the other soldiers, they went to Guinevere instead. And so Guinevere was really quick to send her own message out to the soldiers and tell them that Jamie is no longer on their side, right? So that's kind of what's happened. Like, if you look at Jamie, he's got a positive kind of impression of Frederick. He knows of, like, he's interacted with Blaze, but he doesn't really have any relationship there. He's got a positive impression of Myron, and that's pretty much it. And then a Warlock, Athel, Tilke. But that's it, right? Whereas Guinevere, she is friends with a lot of the soldiers, and she knows a whole lot of the soldiers, obviously because they're her men. They serve with her, right? So they are more loyal to Guinevere than they are to Jamie. So that's kind of what has happened, unfortunately. So Jamie was kind of riding on his title, the fact that they would answer to their commander. But he kind of overlooked the fact that the champion has a better relationship with the men than the commander does. And technically, I mean, the commander is supposed to be under the champion's authority. So if he rebels, that's only possible if he has a stronger relationship with his men than Guinevere has with them, right? But he doesn't. So this has kind of backfired a little bit. Even Frederick, look at this, even Frederick has a friendship with Guinevere. So he is friends with Guinevere, he's friends with Blaze, he's friends with Luciano, with Beckett, and that's just on their own. That is, like, completely on their own without me having to do anything, you know, in the game. So he knows what side he's on, and he's not a soldier, right? So he's actually come on behalf of Guinevere, because he's kind of this, he's not a soldier, but he's also, you know, a male Salazar. And so he has kind of that relation to Jamie, because they have those certain similarities, like the last name and the gender, and the male bloodline sort of thing. But he's coming on behalf of Guinevere to essentially deliver the message that there are no soldiers coming. Guinevere knows where they are. Guinevere knows what they've done, and Guinevere is coming after them. And that's all Frederick is here to say. He is here to tell them to prepare, because this will be their demise. This will be the end of them. And so Frederick, he is at this point not going to break out the princess, because, you know, he's on his own. He's not going to fight Jamie or Xiomara. That's essentially like, well, if they wanted to, they could kill him. He's on his own right now. So he's not going to do any of that. He's kind of come as not a peace offering, I would think, but as well as giving them this news, he's giving Jamie a little bit of an out with his son. So Frederick here is saying that there is no way that their deeds can go unpardoned. The vampiresses of the coven, they are going to act upon it. Guinevere has made up her mind. She is coming here to decimate you two, essentially, and release, Princess Kyra. But Frederick doesn't feel as though Lord Ari deserves to be, tangled in all of this, right? To go down with his father, to be trapped in all this. So he's offering Jamie that, I will take your son to safety. Let me take Lord Ari to the Willow Creek Embassy, where I'm raising my son. Let me look after him. Let him, step aside from this conflict and not get tied up into something that he's too young to understand, and he definitely does not deserve. So even though Jamie is bewitched by Xiomara, he, is still the biological father of Ari, and I feel like he does have that affection for his son. And Ari's Lagatha's son as well, don't forget. So I think there is no way he's abandoning Xiomara. He's completely in love with her. He's bewitched, as we know. But I think he is going to consent to Frederick taking his son back to the Willow Creek Embassy so that he is safe from, this whole thing. But essentially, these two know they are on their own. They now have to face off against Guinevere, because Guinevere is coming. That's what Frederick has said. She is coming, so expect her. But, that you can't do anything. You can't escape. There is no escape. How far will you go before she tracks you down and finds you? She has made up her mind that she is going to end you two, and nothing will stop her. So all you can do now is prepare. So these guys obviously are absolutely devastated to be left on their own. Jamie is going to say his goodbyes to Lord Ari, and Ari is going to go off with Frederick. This is so sad. This is so sad. Okay, guys, Guinevere is here, finally, with her soldiers. Obviously, she hasn't brought everyone, because Guinevere is pretty confident that they can deal with the traitorous Xiomara and Jamie with just, a group of 5. But essentially, she's brought with her all the Ranarain boys. So we have Blaze, Kyra's father, Luciano, his twin, and then we have Blaze and Luciano's half-brothers, Bryce and Jackie Ranarain. So these twins over here. Ah, my goodness. And you know what I love? As soon as they showed up here, if you look at the relationship panels, look at the Ranarain boys. Just look at them. Wouldn't Sol be proud, guys? Wouldn't Ursula be proud? Wouldn't Cynthia be proud? And Kali as well? To see the, male vampires of their bloodline actually helping to save a princess of the Salazar Coven, and to help preserve the royal bloodline. Wouldn't they be proud? Because I have to say, looking at these guys, I am flippin' proud. I am so proud right now. But okay, our boys are ready. But if we look at the relationship panel, it's as soon as they showed up here, Kyra kind of felt this sense of safety and security, because she's never met Bryce, like her uncles Bryce and Jackie, and I don't know if she'd ever met, no, she has met Luciano, I think, but she'd never met Bryce and Jackie. But as soon as they showed up on the lot, she had this sense of safety and security and affection for them, which I love. Also, funny side note, I feel like the reason why these guys especially work really well with Guinevere, and maybe they align with Guinevere too, is because Guinevere is evil, Luciano we know is evil, Bryce is evil, and Jackie is mean. So, yeah, they're all pretty much, male versions of Guinevere, so they kind of resonate with her, and I think they are entirely happy to be working under her instruction. So, okay, Guinevere is going to barge in here, and they know that Jamie and Zumar are waiting for them, right? Because Guinevere sent Frederick here to let them know that she is coming for them, so that they can feel this sense of dread as the hours and the minutes tick by. But okay, they are going to head up here, and Jamie is waiting for them down here. Jamie's waiting for them. So they're going to go in and confront Jamie. They're going to surround him. But Guinevere has kind of instructed the others that she is going to deal with these traitors herself, right? They're kind of her backup, but she's going to be dealing with these traitors herself. So Jamie's over here. These guys, they're going to surround him. They're going to completely surround him. Look at them. All these threatening Runnerine boys, and Guinevere as well. And she is going to challenge Jamie to a vampiric duel. So she's going to challenge... Nope, come on. Now we got to figure out where we have enough space for them to duel. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. These guys, they're going to have a vampiric duel. Right, so Jamie's guarding like this level. So she needs to defeat him to be able to go up to where Kyra is. So let's go do a vampiric duel. Please be able to. No? Do we have to go up, maybe, to do this duel? We might have to go up, guys, out into the open. Okay, we're gonna come out here into the open with everyone. So Jamie come out here. We'll get all the Runnerines to come out. Maybe we can say as soon as they came up, Jamie has kind of realized how many of them there are, and he's kind of escaped to where he's going to have more room to maneuver. Okay, come on. Let's do this vampiric duel. Come on. Please tell me you have enough space now. They do. Good. Okay. So they're going to have this vampiric duel. All the Runnerine boys are going to be over here as her backup. So let's see how this goes, guys. Let's see how this goes. Oh, Guinevere. Ah, I'm really rooting for Guinevere, guys. I'm really rooting for Guinevere. I mean, Jamie's been around for a long time, but Guinevere is, I think, a grandmaster. There we go! She defeated him! Oh, Guinevere. Gorgeous Guinevere. So she has defeated Jamie and apprehended him. So he is now, he's been captured by her. Obviously, their relationship is terrible at this point, but she's captured Jamie. Now, the others, they are going to surround him. So all of these boys, they're going to completely surround him and make sure that he is under control so they can... I mean, this is the prison fort. I mean, where else can he go? This is literally the prison fort. But they're going to figure out what to do with him. They're most probably going to take him back to the castle so that he can face his crimes, or maybe even to Castle Sheba. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen to him? But okay, now that this has been done, Guinevere is going to face off against Xiomara. So now that she's gotten through to Jamie, Xiomara is over here guarding the door to the princess's tower where she's locked up. So Guinevere is going to try and lure her out and do a vampiric duel with Xiomara. Oh my goodness, like in her chamber? In her chamber? Can they even duel in her chamber? No, yeah, she's lured her out. That is so cool though, that they can do an actual vampiric duel, like the two of them. Oh my goodness, okay. So this is Xiomara not using spells, but she's actually harnessing, or she's tapping into her vampiric side to face off against Guinevere. I think at this point she knows she can't escape, but she's in this kind of crazed frenzy, and it's just kind of like a fight or die situation, even though she knows there's no getting out of this anymore. There is no way they can get out of this. Like, once Guinevere has decided that that is the end of you, that is the end of you. But she might have a chance if she wins against Guinevere. So she is going to fight Guinevere. And here they go, guys. Here they go. Come on, Guinevere. Come on. I don't know how, like, she could be affected by the fact that Xiomara is a hybrid. Does that give her an advantage? Oh, and she has defeated Xiomara, guys. That is our champion, Guinevere. Okay, and now the soldiers have Xiomara as well as Jamie surrounded. Yep, and Guinevere has proved herself. So she has defeated Xiomara. And after that defeat, she's going to break down the door. And she is going to come in and rescue Princess Kyra. Come on, Guinevere. Let's get on through. And she's found the princess and rescued her. Oh my goodness, this is so cute! Guinevere. I love Guinevere. I flippin' love Guinevere, guys. I mean, in the beginning, I was saying how she kind of seemed interesting, especially like her aesthetic and stuff. She just seemed kind of cool, you know. But at this point of the story, like at this point of the series, I can tell you hands down, Guinevere is my favorite character. I love her so flippin' much. I know she's evil, but guys, she saved Princess Kyra. Did you see how badass she was this whole time? Oh, I love her. So she has rescued Princess Kyra, and look how much happier Kyra is. Kyra's happy, Guinevere is happy as well. Now that Kyra has been, she's been saved, she's safe, she's secure. And she is going to return Kyra to the creature cradle. So Kyra is going to be returned to the creature cradle, and then she's going to basically hold Jamie and Xiomara back to Castle Eden to answer to the queen for their crimes. So let's get that set up, and then we'll pick up then. My oh my, today is a chaotic day indeed, but Queen Eden is in her second trimester, and we have returned to Castle Eden. The two traitors have been captured and imprisoned at the castle grounds. I never thought we'd use this place, because we don't always do, but lo and behold, we've come to this point in the story. So Jamie is on one side, and then we have Xiomara in the other. Xiomara is just completely gone mental at this point, I feel. She is, freaking out, but then she's laughing and smiling. Like, she's completely given up on herself. She tried so desperately, and every kind of desperate action she took drove her more and more towards her death, I feel. So a lot of what she did was like a self-fulfilling prophecy. She thought she was going to die, and then everything she did to stop that enabled it to happen quicker, which is so tragic. But Jamie, you can tell, he's feeling upset, he's feeling worried because of several things. Like, he doesn't know how his son's doing, he's separated from his son. I think he's worried because he hasn't been imprisoned with Xiomara, and he doesn't know what's going to happen to her, and he's completely bewitched by her. So she's kind of mostly what he's thinking about. I'm more concerned for her than himself. So we have Guinevere and we have Meredith. Meredith is absolutely horrified that all of this has happened and gone down. And Guinevere, after, rescuing the princess, returned her to the creature cradle. So Lagatha was very, very happy to have her back, and so was Myron, and so was her brother, Prince Rusty. He was so anxious that his sister was kidnapped, and then he felt kind of guilty for allowing it to happen because, she was with him when she disappeared, even though it wasn't his fault. So all of those things were happening. Blaze helped to escort Kyra, his daughter, to the creature cradle, and then he returned to Castle Sheba. Elaine is still under guard, so Luciano is still kind of looking over her, and she's in that prison cell. She hasn't been allowed out yet because they know that she's bewitched, and even though they've captured Xiomara, they don't want her to do anything risky to break her out, so they have imprisoned her in a separate place over there, and Luciano's been charged with making sure that she stays in containment until they figure out a way to break this bewitchment, right? They have decided it's not safe, or Guinevere has decided it's not safe to let her out. So after all of that, Guinevere she showed up to Castle Eden with Xiomara and with Jamie, and no doubt the Queen and Meredith were very confused about what was happening, but she explained to them what Xiomara did, and Eden was quite horrified. I feel like she kind of just went weak in the knees and, just crashed to the floor, not knowing what the heck to do, and she just froze. She's the queen, but she had no idea what to do, and her mind just went blank, just stopped working. And when Guinevere told her, it's okay, I have everything under control, Eden kind of let out this breath of relief because she honestly did not know what to do. She had no clue what to do. She was kind of looking to Guinevere to tell her what to do. She knew it was terrible and tragic, but she just had no clue. No control over herself, her emotions, or the sense of logic, just nothing. So Guinevere took care of everything, and she told the queen, it's okay, it's under control now. And these two, they were imprisoned, and she basically told both Meredith and Eden that Kyra was kidnapped, but everything's okay now. But also, Guinevere's gone ahead and, she's listed all the things that Xiomara has done since she and Eden got together. She's pointing out the fact that Xiomara over here was involved with Catherine, and then was, being really flirtatious with a whole bunch of the ladies in their court. She used banned potions on the queen, she used banned potions on Jamie, and banned potions on Elaine. So, she's been scheming, and then playing with your feelings, and then she also is revealing to the queen now that Xiomara is actually an immortal. So everything that Xiomara has been trying to hide, Guinevere is laying them out one after the other and saying that there is no way to pardon her, right? There is no way that she can be pardoned. She must be dealt with at this point. So the queen is very thankful to her twin sister, and she's definitely heartbroken by everything that Xiomara has done. And at this point, she knows that something has to be done both Jamie and Xiomara have to be dealt with in some way. But as usual, the queen doesn't know what to do. It's such a huge decision to make. I feel like past queens would have been very decisive. For them, it would have been execution. Like, you do something like this, it's a straight up execution. You think about back in Generation 1 with Queen Sheba, like, whose mother was it? I think it was Ophelia. Ophelia's mother, right? Her mother kidnapped her. And what did the queen do? The queen executed her mother. Because at that point, the mother had been kicked out of the coven, and the child was considered a child of the coven. So, queens in the past have been very decisive. And Xiomara has not only broken the law, she's used unbent potions, she's manipulated the vampires, she's usurped the army, right? Well, she tried to, at least. She tried to usurp the army, and she's also kidnapped the princess, and pretty much, declared an outright war with the vampires, or with the coven. But even despite that, the queen isn't taking any decisive action. So she knows something has to be done, but she doesn't know what to do, and it's like a huge decision. She doesn't want to make it alone. She wants to consult her council members. But whether that decision is going to be, whether those council members are going to be Meredith and Guinevere is up in the air right now, because it is the day of the council reappointment. So the queen is going to be reappointing her council members for, the spring season, the spring mid-season. And once that is done, her new council members, or, it might still be Meredith and Guinevere, they are going to help her make the decision about what to do with these guys. And I feel like Eden is going to leave it largely up to her council members, because she just doesn't have it in her to take, decisive steps and do what needs to be done, I feel. So, okay, let's get set up for the council reappointment, and we'll see who is going to end up at the queen's side. So the queen here has been going through moments of just intense anger, but then right now she is immensely sad. She's very, very sad and wounded by everything that Xiomara's done. Like, now that she's thinking it through, there's just so much to be heard about, and it's just one thing compounding onto the next. Like, finding out the truth about her, knowing that the emotions that she's been feeling now, that, recently, of wanting to marry Xiomara, like, all of that is the result of a banned potion. It's not something that's, she's been feeling naturally. It's been induced by an alchemical creation of Xiomara's. She's hurt by that. She's hurt that Xiomara would, bring harm to her own daughter like that. It's just kind of beyond. And I feel like with Eden's naive, kind of childlike thought process, her thinking, I don't think it ever crossed her mind that people can be devious like this, that people can do stuff like that they can double-cross you in that way. Especially someone you consider so close to yourself. I don't think she ever expected that. But not only that, I don't think Eden ever expected, because of how much she trusts everyone around her, to be played like that. I mean, she's the queen, so she never thought that anyone would be able to outdo the queen, right? She would always be on top and in control. But she doesn't realize that the control she has over the court is literally a facade, right? It's entirely of Guinevere's creation. Guinevere is the one who's handling things, and Guinevere allows Eden to feel as though everything is under control, because Guinevere is managing stuff, and then Eden is just putting her label on it, right? But when it comes down to it, when Guinevere is not controlling things, Eden has no control whatsoever, right? And she kind of felt that for the first time today, and that's really, really freaked her out. But okay, a lot of stuff has happened since the last council reappointment. For a while there, we thought that Xiomara might end up being one of the council members, because right after the previous council appointment, she got really, close to the queen, but obviously things have taken a 180. Now, Meredith, she has been faithful and steady this entire time, of course. So I feel like maybe she's in the queen's good books, and, she's got a good chance of renewing her council appointment, Guinevere has done a lot, I feel like. She flippin' saved the princess and handled all this mess that happened. So if anything, I feel like she definitely deserves a spot on the council, but I don't know how the queen feels about this. I feel like the queen might have maybe a little bit something against Catherine. Who knows? I wonder, like, does she feel grateful to Catherine for bringing, Xiomara's reality to light? Like, speaking up during the betrothal announcement, or is she a little bit bitter towards Catherine for revealing that and ruining things? And then with Lagatha hasn't really done anything terrible to anyone. She's always been, a good friend to the queen and stuff, but the princess was taken from under Lagatha's care, and guardianship, so I don't know if the queen would be happy with her because of that, the fact that she allowed it to happen. So let's take a look at her relationships and see exactly what's going on. Now, the queen, these four ladies, so typically we'd have these four and then Elaine plus Xiomara, who the queen would choose between. But Xiomara obviously can't be a council member. She's imprisoned right now. Elaine can't be one right now because she's not in her right mind. She is, under watch right now in Castle Sheba. So it's going to be essentially between these four ladies. So let's take a look and see who the queen is going to appoint. Okay. So guys, it seems as though, despite everything that has happened, now I'm trying to work out who's going to close a relationship. Is it Catherine or is it Lagatha? Like, I can't tell. I think it's Lagatha. So it seems as though, guys, that even though Lagatha kind of lost the princess, after everything the queen has been through, remember, Lagatha is the only one she's ever felt any sort of love towards, any sort of actual, like, proper feelings, and she's never pursued it because, suddenly Xiomara came into the picture. But I think after the betrayal she's felt with Xiomara, the queen's decided, like, what's the point of hiding how she feels, and what's the point of like, putting it off when people like Xiomara exist and they can take advantage of you. She knows Lagatha has always been true to her, and she wants to keep Lagatha close to her. So I feel like because of that, Lagatha is going to be her first advisor, guys. So first council member. So she's actually going to invite Lagatha over here to sit where Guinevere normally sits. Phew, okay. So we have had a change. So Lagatha is going to take a spot over there. And then if we look at the queen's relationships, interestingly enough, Catherine over here is going to be appointed as the queen's final council member. Oh my goodness, the priestess. So I think at the end of the day, the queen feels grateful to Catherine for revealing what she did, because it saved a whole lot of heartbreak on the queen's end. Like, the queen was going along with Xiomara, not knowing that Xiomara is essentially playing her, and that, she's messing around with all these other people in the background, and she isn't genuinely trying to, be devoted to the queen. She didn't know that. She was quite innocent in that regard. So I think she feels grateful for that. But also, because Catherine is the priestess, I feel like the queen really feels as though they've almost fallen out of favor with the goddess, and she wants, the priestess there to be a guiding hand so that the coven can find its way back into the goddess's embrace and safety. So she's going to invite Lady Catherine as her second council member. Oh my goodness, guys. So this is a shift over here for sure. For sure. Now, I think in regards to Guinevere, even though Guinevere helped solve a lot of, she rescued Kyra and she helped solve the mess that happened, and then she captured the traitors, I think Eden, for the first time in her life, felt very uncomfortable by the fact that all of this happened and nobody told her anything. That all of this happened, Guinevere told her nothing. And Guinevere handled everything on her own and then told the queen in the end. She did everything on her own, and then she told the queen in the end. The queen was, left out of the loop, and I don't think Eden liked that one bit. So she does not think that Guinevere is up to par to be her, like a council member. I think because of that, the queen wants to put a little bit of a distance between Guinevere and herself. She wants to surround herself with people who are going to enable her and give her good advice so that she can make decisions. Because I don't think she liked being left out like that at all. So I wonder how Guinevere feels about this, because she's come back, like a bit of a hero. And even if the queen, this has made her fall out with the queen just a little bit, or this has made the queen wary of her, even if that is the case, she has won the hearts of Lagatha, of Catherine, of Meredith, of every other vampire there is, the male soldiers and the females. So yes, she may have lost the queen, but she just gained herself a whole court of loyal vampiresses, because when Lagatha lost Kyra, they reached out to Guinevere, and Guinevere is the one who returned Kyra. She was there helping them through that. And then when Elaine was having that, the problem, things are weird with Elaine, Guinevere is the one who went to Castle Sheba, and she straightened things out. She put Elaine under watch so that Elaine wouldn't do anything risky to endanger her life and, become a traitor. The only reason Elaine is not a traitor right now is because Guinevere kept her under lock and key, and she couldn't get to Xiomara to help her out. So I think Catherine's very grateful for that. And then also, she included Catherine into what was happening. So Catherine, one, would be grateful that Guinevere has essentially saved her sister's life, and also that Guinevere kept her in the loop. Obviously, she respects her enough. And then Meredith has never really liked Guinevere, obviously. She's never been as level-headed as Lagatha, even though, stuff has happened between Guinevere and the Dravagers. Lagatha has always been more level-headed. When Guinevere was a princess, Lagatha was kind of, taking her side, she was on Team Guinevere when they were getting ready, training for the crown. Whereas Meredith was always, Queen Eden or Princess Eden. So Meredith, she obviously wasn't involved in any of this, but she is definitely in a little bit of awe that Guinevere was able to get everything under control in the way that she did. But yeah, Lagatha definitely respects Guinevere more, and Guinevere, I think, has started having a little bit more respect for Lagatha, because, Lagatha didn't help Xiomara. She actually stayed on the queen's side. So that impressed Guinevere quite a bit. And then obviously all the male soldiers we have, the male soldiers, they, Guinevere is a hero to them because she guided them well, and she, won the fight against Xiomara and Jaime, but then also she rescued their beloved princess. So they are going to be very grateful for that. And then not only that, she kind of allowed Frederick to take Lord Ari away from the prison fort so that, his life wouldn't be ruined. So the males are definitely thankful to Guinevere for that. So, okay guys, with that said and done, we're going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. When we come back in the next episode, Lagatha and Catherine are going to be the ones who are advising the queen on what to do with our prisoners. And then the queen should be getting ready to go into her third trimester and have her baby. I do think she's going to have a baby in the next episode, because I think she is due to go into labor at 1 p.m. on Monday. So that will be quite exciting, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all then. Bye-bye.